Please welcome to the stage, Anita Flores!
Thank you. That was perfect. It was one of the greatest nights of my life, recording my podcast here. And on that same level, I saw a Backstreet Boys concert recently, and that is also one of the greatest nights of my life. This is a spooky theme, so let's talk about something spooky. Cocaine. Woo! If film and television taught me anything growing up, it's that cocaine is something for, fancy people, like when I'm, as a young lady, I was thinking, what does cocaine mean? It means silk materials, yachts, privilege. Now, I think everything I thought I knew about cocaine came from watching maybe 20 minutes of Scarface on TNT. And given this information, it should not surprise you that when I was offered cocaine at a party, I was honored. Okay. Truly honored. Okay. Picture it. I'm 22 years old. I'm at a party and I am offered some cocaine. Now, I have never done it, and what I want to do is kind of think about my options. Wait, I wanted to ask an important question. Did anyone here? No, it's an 100% fact. If you are there any straight men in here that love Scarface? No, this doesn't seem like that crowd. So this feels like the right place to tell everyone that it is an 100% fact that when we were all in college, we were all fingered under fluorescent lighting in a dorm room while making direct eye contact with a, say it with me, Scarface poster. Am I right? I just wanted to get that out of the way. I felt like no one here was going to go, I love Scarface. And it's okay if you do. Maybe you fingered me at some point in college. Anyway, so I am offered cocaine in a bedroom, and now it's time for me to, shall we say, weigh my options. So at 22 years old, where am I? I don't have any medical problems. When you're 22, you're like, I don't have any medical problems, and I never will. I will live forever. And that's how I was feeling at the time. What else was going through my brain? Now, I think for me, being offered cocaine, this feels like a ticket into a wealthy lifestyle. This is the thing that I'm thinking about the most. I'm like, if I do cocaine, what if this is the beginning of, this exciting new life for me that has yachts? And for me, my big purchase when I become crazy wealthy is a solid gold slide. So solid gold slides. And then the other thing that I'm convinced exists is some sort of bomb shelter for the 1%. And so if I do cocaine, I am on my way, baby, to my ticket to the bomb shelter. I'm weighing those options, And, I'm 22 and I, sadly, as a Latina woman, do not fulfill any of the stereotypes that could benefit me as a Latinx person. So, like, for example, my dad is not like a wealthy Latin drug kingpin. You know what I mean? Thanks for nothing, Dad. So yes, I'm really giving this some serious consideration. Where else am I in my life at 22? I have yet to be on medication for generalized anxiety. I am a virgin who recently, probably within a week of this party, had to be given a juice box by my gynecologist because I had a panic attack when she tried to do my pap smear. Okay, and to answer your question, I did lose my virginity in my mid-20s. Thank you. And I know a lot of you did too, or some of you. Somebody clapped. Somebody clapped. You get it. So I think about all of these things, and I think, and keep in mind, the man that is offering me cocaine looks like the kind of guy who one day will go to prison for insider trading, or maybe will become a Supreme Court justice. Who knows? You know the type. I don't even need to give a physical description. But I have weighed all my options, and I have decided I'm not going to do cocaine because do I really need to dial this up, you know? As I always say, anxiety is nature's cocaine, you know? You're just always at a 10, an 11, always. So in response to this, the young man says, okay, is it cool if we do it in here? Oh my God, he is asking me if it's okay for him to do cocaine in front of me. What a gentleman, okay? Maybe I should date this guy. Oh, an important detail. At this very party, as I am now what I call, I'm in the cocaine room, AKA a bedroom at this party, I am currently being pursued by a suspiciously cheerful young man named Steve. Or, that could be his real name, but, it's fine. There's a lot of Steves. I actually checked to see if we're still friends on Facebook, and I don't think we are, so we're safe, everybody. So Steve he's got blindingly white teeth, very bright natural blonde hair, which does spook me a bit, and very bright blue eyes, and kind of like, if we've seen Children of the Damned, it's like, this is, Children of the Damned, the dating years, that he's grown up now. Now, at 22, I am starting to realize that, not all, but many men are scumbags. So when a guy comes along that I am not attracted to and I also think is boring, is interested in me, I'm thinking, let's give it a shot, But I also don't want to talk to Steve. So that's part of the reason I am now hiding in this room with people that are doing cocaine. I have decided that I'm going to sit and watch people do cocaine. Fortunately, this is the kind of party that has bowls of snacks everywhere. So I was lucky enough to have a nice bowl of popcorn, and really get my own live movie version of Scarface, Now, here's the thing. I'm watching a stranger do cocaine, and suddenly I'm realizing this is not as glamorous as I have imagined, because in my mind I'm thinking $100 bills, silver trays, but he's got a dollar bill, a Metro card, And it's actually quite depressing. It's not as fun as I thought. And I'm starting to think this is not going to be my ticket into the glittery lifestyle that will get me a ticket onto Richard Branson's spaceship, which I know that Ashton Kutcher and Justin Timberlake both have tickets. That is real. Look it up. So now I do not feel comfortable in this room just being the person watching people do drugs. It feels a bit too intimate. So I decide it's time for me to venture out into the living room to see what I can stress eat. Now, at this point of the night, I'd call this the dark period of the party. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning. It's there are no mixers or solo cups left o'clock. It is, drinking Jameson out of mugs o'clock. Smoking cigarettes and letting the ash fall on the white rug o'clock, So at this point, but none of that matters to me because I'm concerned that I don't see any snacks. Because what I would like at this moment is I don't really want to talk to anyone, and right now I am trapped because I am waiting for a friend who is flirting and she's trying to get this guy's number, and I want to be supportive, and I must wait until she gets that number. And if I don't have Chex Mix to make eye contact with, I'm going to have to talk to Steve. Fortunately, I notice what right now looks like a shining beacon of light. It is a white bakery box shining on the counter, and I walk over to it. It's got that little tape keeping it closed, which is screaming, "Don't open this. Don't open this. This is not yours." But here I am opening it, and I open it, and I'm greeted with, if we're objectifying cakes, a 10. Okay, it's a perfect, a cake that is meant to be eaten by one person, and it's got white frosting and little flowers on it, and I think this is it. This is what I'm going to spend my time doing. I'm going to eat this cake because there's nothing else to do right now. Now, at this point, I have not located any forks or knives, and I think I'm going to do it, folks. We're all thinking it. I'm going to eat this cake with my hands. I've also had some Jameson, and keep in mind, I am not on Lexapro yet. And so I sink a hand into that cake, much like a zombie cracking open a fresh skull, And it is a bloodbath. Why? Because this cake has jelly in it, which is psychotic to me, okay? That's for donuts. So I'm eating this cake. It's not very good. It tastes a bit stale. I'm not a fan of the jelly. And fortunately, my friend, she finds me, and she's got the number, and it's time for us to go. There's no napkins anywhere, so I do the most logical thing. I wipe my jelly hand on the wall. Seems like a good idea at the time, and I can't help but think this is going to be my calling card as a criminal, Like, I picture, like, a cop showing up, and, like, he's got his aviators on, and he, like, dips his finger into the jelly, and he's like, jelly? That's Flores. And so I leave the party, leaving a massacre behind. Probably like 2-3 weeks later, I am hanging out with the host of this party, who is a friend of mine, and I decide I am going to come clean. It's time for me to confess my sin. So I say, so FYI, I'm jelly hand, because I really think I left like a scary red handprint on the wall. I was like, I'm jelly hand. I ate the cake. I left the mess. And she looks at me, and I can't tell if she's looking at me in like shock or horror or amusement. And she says, oh, that was you. You ate Zach and Tina's wedding cake. Now let's go back, okay? Let's go back a second. Did you know that some people save the top tier of their wedding cake? Okay? They save the top of their wedding cake, and they're like, let me put it in the... oh, I'm coming for you next, pal. They put it in the freezer, and then they take it out a year later for a lovely dinner out. And then, like idiots, they're like, we're fun, we're still young, let's go to this house party and not even eat our gross, stale cake at the restaurant. And then leave it unattended at a table, and then, a young lady with a sweet tooth and crippling anxiety eats their memories. Have you ever eaten someone's memories? Have you ever? It is a powerful, powerful feeling. Like, I ate someone's memories and I shit them out. They're in a toilet. They're in a sewer somewhere. They're gone. I used to feel bad. When she tells me this news, I put my sweatshirt over my head and I cry for a little bit because I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? But in retrospect, after many years, I've come to realize that, number one, you do not leave your wedding cake unattended at a house party. And number two, you should not try and force yourself to date somebody when you don't like them. Thank you very much.